Good morning, Bitcoin. Today is Monday, April 23rd, 2018. My name is Thomas Hunt, and here's what's happening today in Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin was up 1.35% in the last 24 hours, with a last of 8,920, a high of 8,935, and a low of 8,871. That's $1 for 11,221 Satoshis. The Mayer multiple is 0.91, with a Bitcoin price of around 8,900 and a 200-day moving average of around 9,700. The Mayer multiple has been higher 79% of the time, with an average of 1.57. Early investor in Tesla, Skype, and Hotmail says Bitcoin will be bigger than all those combined. But of course, this is not a new story at all. Tim Draper bought the Silk Road Bitcoin auction in 2013 or 2014. He's been talking about Bitcoin this whole time. Draper University has several university classes of Bitcoin startups come and go. As Draper says, this is bigger than the internet. The early internet investor reiterated his bullish call for Bitcoin to hit $250,000 by 2022 and elaborated on use cases, of which there are many. How the tiny nation of Georgia became a Bitcoin behemoth. Cheap electricity and power brought people to Georgia for Bitcoin mining. Mainly it's people mining in their houses, but there are a few large-scale Bitcoin miners. As one of the home miners says, mining at home is easy money. 4 of his friends also have home mining rigs. Everyone is doing it, he says, smiling. But he also adds that he's attracted by the libertarian promise of cryptocurrencies. We won't need banks anymore. It will be good for society. Cheap air to drop Coinbase and switch to a new Bitcoin processor. Unfortunately, BitPay. Coinbase has dropped their custodial solutions for merchants, meaning that the long-rumored switch from Coinbase being a Bitcoin wallet to a Bitcoin seller may actually be happening. Holding people's Bitcoins is a major liability for Coinbase, as many have been stolen in the past and will be stolen in the future. Cheap Air, however, doesn't want to know how to use Bitcoin, so they've switched to BitPay, which does much the same thing. Wikileaks claims that Coinbase has shut down its online store's Bitcoin account. Once again, there's lazy, and then there's Wikileaks. Wikileaks, the ultimate anti-government radical group out there, doesn't want to take the trouble to have a Bitcoin wallet, doesn't want to take the trouble to find out how multi-sig works, isn't interested in anything. They just put up a Coinbase code on their website, and they can't do anything else. Pathetic, Wikileaks. Of course Coinbase shut you down. We were talking about Coinbase shutting you down for years before they shut you down. Coinbase has never been Bitcoin. Coinbase has always been a Bitcoin bank. If you don't want to go to the trouble of meeting someone through local Bitcoins, if you don't want to go to a Bitcoin meetup and meet someone, you can buy. They're controlled, and unless you withdraw them from their website, they're completely owned by Coinbase. Not a surprise, but it's nice to see everyone acting surprised. Locked out of Coinbase? Why are Wyoming Bitcoin users still waiting? For over 2 years, Coinbase users in Wyoming have been unable to access their cryptocurrency. I'd guess I'd lost $100,000 to this bullshit law, one resident complained on Reddit. It's interesting. It seems like they had access to Coinbase previously, then they cut them off. Presumably, Coinbase is still holding their accounts. It seems at a certain point, it might be worth moving out of Wyoming to attempt to access your account. Not sure about that. They say they're having trouble with the identity system, controlling private keys, and strange laws in Wyoming. Best of luck to the people of Wyoming to get access to their Coinbase accounts. But once again, they're locked out of Coinbase. They're not locked out of Bitcoin. These aren't Bitcoin users. These are Coinbase users. If they had withdrawn their money from Coinbase and put it into any normal wallet, They would have been fine because they would be their own bank. If you want to be a child in a world of adult money, leave your money in Coinbase. Don't take any responsibility for it. Just don't be surprised when you get hacked, when they get shut down, or when they lock you out of your Bitcoin for 2 years because you live in Wyoming. That's what a centralized third party can do. That's the whole point of Bitcoin. Don't trust any centralized third parties. Hold your own keys. Bitcoin extends post-tax day rebound to $9,000 a coin. But I thought it was dead. I thought it was tulips. Now they're blaming the price pressure on tax obligations. Oh, sure, just forget about Mt. Gox selling $500 million or whatever in Bitcoin. Just forget. Forget about the institutional selling. And really, forget about the institutional buying. Bitcoin struggles above 9K as bull breakout stalls. More analysis from Coinbase. Let's go straight to the view. Signs of a bullish exhaustion near the key resistance zone indicates the scope for a minor pullback, possibly to the ascending 10-day moving average located at 8,423. Longer term, Bitcoin looks set to test the 200-day moving average lined up at 9,784 and could possibly test the $10,000 mark. Only a daily close below the descending trendline support would signal bullish invalidation. Sure sounds like it's going to 1,200. Ooh, better check those charts. The illiterate are the key to Bitcoin adoption. A very interesting article from NewsBTC, new website, new style of the website. The illiterate are key to Bitcoin adoption, saying that many in Afghanistan and other countries such as Venezuela, Zimbabwe, are not literate, yet still have the need for Bitcoin. Perhaps if a simple Bitcoin wallet was made, focusing on pictures instead of words, allowing people to understand their money in a new way, maybe a Bitcoin wallet for children that could then be used for everyone. But then again, no one's managed to make a simple Bitcoin wallet yet, and the few who tried have given up and become complicated and confusing altcoin wallets. Why buy a simple thing like Bitcoin when you can buy 100 other things that have no value? Bitcoin nipping at gold demand. We've been saying it for years, but it's great to see the mainstream media joining in. Gold has surpassed many challengers over the centuries as a go-to safe haven investment. But some say that Bitcoin is the challenger with the best chance of dethroning gold as the globe's ultimate store of value. It's simple to do the comparison. Gold is heavy. Bitcoin is light. Gold cannot be sent through the internet. Bitcoin can. Gold is even difficult to transfer person to person because of its weight, whereas Bitcoin can easily be stored on a phone and sent person to person or person to person across the internet with no trouble. The code could also be sent through phone lines, text messages, snail mail, telegrams, telephone, anything. Whereas gold is so heavy, you have to store it in a vault and you have to hire people to guard it. Why would people use gold? Why would you use coins when you can use an infinitely divisible, digital, online medium of currency with no middleman, controlled by no government? Gold is in trouble. Goldman Sachs just made its first crypto hire to explore a potential Bitcoin trading desk. That's right. They laughed at us. They made fun of us. They mocked us for years. And look what's happening now. Goldman Sachs is hiring cryptocurrency people to work at a Bitcoin trading desk. It's only a matter of time before they open it up to all of their customers, as we've said for years. The market is robust. No shit. Goldman Sachs backed Circle doubles minimum Bitcoin trade size to $500,000. Remember when Circle ran away from Bitcoin and disappeared for a few years there? Boy, that was a mistake. What morons. Now they've sold to Goldman Sachs and they're back with Bitcoin. Welcome back, Circle. We needed a Coinbase alternative. Too bad you couldn't just stick with it. Had to be one of those quitters. Central Bank of Iran enforces crackdown on cryptocurrencies. And this actually is pretty extreme regulation from the Central Bank of Iran. But once again, Look at the source. Iran, North Korea. These are the countries that don't like Bitcoin, that don't like freedom. George Bush called them the axis of evil. What else do you think? Earlier, the central bank in Iran made it illegal to change money outside of banks themselves. Talk about control. And obviously, Iran does not like Bitcoin. As it says here, Bitcoin is an unregulated industry, which may cause even more financial instability. There are also concerns over potential money freedom activity involving cryptocurrency. The central bank's statement is similar to how most other regions perceive Bitcoin and other similar cryptocurrencies. Once again, it doesn't matter. Your old ways are old and they're not coming back. Nobody sends snail mail anymore. Nobody's going to use your cash, your checks, and your credit cards. They're going to use Bitcoin, even in Iran. Much like China, much like Russia. First, they ban it. Then they realize that their ban doesn't work. And then they adopt it. It's only a matter of time. And now, a very special presentation. MadBitcoins celebrates its 5-year anniversary. For those of you who don't know, I started doing these cryptocurrencies videos 5 years ago on April 21st, 2013. The price of Bitcoin was very different then, but let's go ahead and take a listen and a look at MadBitcoins. Just for the reference, there were pretty much no other YouTube videos at this time. The only other podcast was the Let's Talk Bitcoin podcast, good friends with them. And there was just nothing fun about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency on the internet at that time. Everyone was taking it seriously about math and the numbers and all those kind of things. And I just wanted to create something fun and light and, more importantly, daily. Drawing on my training as a historian, I created what I believe to be primary source history of Bitcoin in the time period. These are what we thought as Bitcoiners about the price, about the events in the time. So let's go back to April 21st, 2013 for MadBitcoins, episode number 1, entitled Butterfly Labs Actually Ship Something, Gigahash in the Wild, MadBitcoins. Good morning, Bitcoins. I'm Fiat Currency, and here are today's Mad Bits. Butterfly Labs actually ship something. Working. Gigahash in the wild. That's why I've sent my money to Butterfly Labs, and I'm in line with everyone else. Can you feel the momentum? Gigahash in the wild. Buy Bitcoins today. Mad Bitcoins. And there it is. Buy Bitcoins today. Interesting to see that little clip of the Butterfly Labs miner. There was a YouTuber, I think his name was Coding in My Sleep. He actually got a Butterfly Labs miner early and sang its praises and really helped sell, I think, a bunch of us on it. And by the time we ordered ours, the company decided instead of sending them out to people, they would just hold on to them and mine them themselves. A complete tragedy for anyone who ordered from Butterfly Labs. By the time the miners arrived, the difficulty was out of control, as this was really the beginning of the Bitcoin ASICs. A very exciting time to start making Bitcoin videos. It's kind of interesting. I didn't even do the price there. I didn't really want to do the fun. So here it is, episode number 2. And these are some very short ones, so I'm able to play them in entirety. Apologies for the sound. I'm just holding the microphone up to the thing. I only have one computer here. But here we are, episode number 2, how to check Bitcoin prices constantly. MadBitcoins. Good morning, Bitcoin. I'm Andrew Jackson's Ghost, and these are today's Mad Bits. Do you ever wonder how you could check your Bitcoin prices constantly? Every 10 minutes, iPhone, ooh, it's up a quarter. On BitcoinPrices.com, a real-time tracker. Ooh, up, go up, go up. But most of the time, I just sit back and listen to Bitcoin. This is Mad Bitcoins. That was a fun one. The listen to Bitcoin thing used to show the transactions in real time. Just glancing at those bubbles and seeing 25 Bitcoins, 16 Bitcoins, 18 sent around. And this was around $100 a Bitcoin. I think I do the price in the next episode. But neat to see the original price checkers and how beginning they were and how early it was. And fun to see the show start to take shape. We got one more for you today. This is episode 3. It says, why is Bitcoin important? Micropayments for content providers.
Good morning, Bitcoin. On defensive fortifications that are a monument to the stupidity of man. And here are today's Mad Bits. Why is Bitcoin important? Bitcoin is important because it allows content providers to accept micropayments. Why is that important? The current system doesn't allow you to accept, say, a quarter for a blog because a quarter is too small and would be eaten up by the transaction fees. Why is that important? If you could have a blog that would accept subscribers at maybe a penny or a dime a year, you could have a whole bunch of subscribers. You could have a whole bunch of dimes.
The show's still starting to take shape there, but it's neat to watch and neat to check it out. That's just 5 years ago in Bitcoin history. 5 years ago for the old Mad Bitcoin show. I did a few episodes recently, and I also did a lot of my Europe trip. I made some episodes about that. No one seems to like them, but that's okay. I liked going to Europe. It was super fun for me. And I appreciate all the people on Twitter that went with it. Just want to say hello. Thank everybody for 5 great years of Bitcoin. It's been a long time. Things are pretty much the same. We still need more basic videos about Bitcoin. We need more basic how-to flyers. We need people to talk to their friends and family and tell them about Bitcoin. It's a little harder now. A lot of people say, oh, I want to get rich quick, or you must be so rich. You got a Bitcoin early. But the truth is, I had no money then, and I had to sell over the years from donations and things. So, I don't have any money now. But what's important is that I do have Bitcoin. I have this new digital money that exists on my phone and my Trezor, my Ledger. I can send it anywhere. I'm the one that owns it. I'm in charge of it. No government, no third party, no middleman owns or controls my money. And that's what I got into this for. I'm not about getting crazy rich or buying Ethereum or crazy altcoin ICOs or whatever. And if you guys did that, that's great. Make the money, live comfortably, improve your lives. My brothers into this thing, they said, if you have like a large amount of Bitcoin or whatever, if you sell 10% of it, if that would change your life, you should think about doing it. So don't put off positive things to change your life. Everyone can do this. Even if you haven't bought Bitcoin yet, just get started. When I first heard about Bitcoin, when it came out in 2010 or 2010 or whenever it was, when it first came out on Slashdot, I read about it and I wanted to buy $1,000 worth. But for me, $1,000 was a lot of money, so I didn't want to lose my $1,000. Of course, it would have been worth like $3 million now, so that hurts. But what was funny is I was all or nothing. I was like, put 1,000 in or put nothing in, and I put nothing in. If I'd put $100 in, if I'd put $10 in. So I was saying, if you're having a trouble getting started in Bitcoin, put $10 in, get your account set up, maybe get a recurring buy. I know we're really down on Coinbase, but their recurring buy program is really good. If you buy like $10 a week, $100 a week, whatever is good for your budget, and just something where you don't have to worry about it. If you're watching your recurring buys every week, you're buying too much. It's tough at this point to say you're going to get crazy rich, but you could always get more than you had before. And more importantly, you're contributing to this open money revolution that we're doing, this government-free money. And I think that idea has been forgotten a lot as everyone rushes to government-free securities, which we know is going to cause a backlash of regulation, tramping down on those securities just as soon as enough people have lost money. A lot of people lost money on BitConnect. They lost money on Mt. Gox. They lost money on Cryptsy. They lost money on a dozen other BTC-E, dozen other exchanges. But no one's learned their lesson. Everyone still is taking those risks. But that's what a new and risky market is about, and that's Bitcoin. So I'm starting to run out of battery life on my laptop here, so I'm going to rush the show to the end. If you'd like to donate Bitcoins to this show that has been informing you about Bitcoins for 5 years, starting on April 21st, 2013, and continuing today, April 23rd, 2018, please donate to the QR code on your screen. Also, give us a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and thank you for joining the World Crypto Network, which has been around for about 4 years. We started about 6 to 8 months after MadBitcoins, a little bit after the Bitcoin group, which also had its own channel in the beginning. And eventually we moved to World Crypto Network to work with other people to create cryptocurrency content and to work as a team. Everything we do at World Crypto is a team effort. No one's really ever been paid for this. There's no $1 million here. I never bought Ethereum or any of these things. I just, had a little bit of Bitcoin, sold a little bit to live, and just kept making these shows. For the record, I think I did around 600 episodes of MadBitcoins. I've done about at least 100 to 200 episodes of Today in Bitcoin, 175 episodes of the Bitcoin group, at least 50 to 60 episodes of Bitcoin Talk Show, where we all talk and do some calls, and a lot of live shows for the Mt. Gox crash. We did a live show for the Silk Road crash. We did a live show recently for SegWit launching, for Bcash forking off. We've done a lot of great things, and it's been a lot of fun, and I hope to keep doing it this year. I hope to keep improving the green screen and the cameras and the sound. And one more thing before the battery goes, we're having a meetup tomorrow night in Denver, Colorado. We're going to try to live stream it. The live stream quality is always not that great, but I also plan to record it on my good camera and hopefully upload it later, which may be difficult because it's going to be quite large, and my upload speed at hotels is always bad. But check it out. Maybe we'll do some live tweeting, and if you're in the Denver area, certainly check it out. And I'm going to do a little bit more traveling, and then I should be able to settle somewhere and do some more shows and get back on a good schedule. So thanks so much for everybody who's been watching, commenting, subscribing, liking. I get a lot of great comments. When I traveled Europe, I was able to sleep on a lot of couches of people from the show that donated their couches. And thank you to you for making my Europe trip possible. And thanks to everybody who donated for my Europe trip. I collected a little money that I used to travel between city to city. And it was really great. I'd never been to Europe before. It was super fun. But just had a great time doing these shows, and I want to keep doing them. And thank you so much. And until next time, bye-bye. Of course, go Knights too. Bye-bye.